welcome back, everybody, to the channel. It is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show money-taking. The man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain in YouTube entertainment today, Mr. General Zod. And today I have gone to the farthest reaches of known man, to what most people would say is a mythical country. And I have wrestled up from the outback. I battled dingoes, meth crocs, all sorts of crazy stuff to bring to you guys the mythological, but in fact an actual person, Stevie J. Raw. Welcome, Stevie. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thanks for having me back again. And yes, thanks for wrestling me away from all the dingoes and crocodiles to be here today. It's awesome. So yeah, looking forward to it, my friend. Looking forward to it.
I am so looking forward to this talk. I always enjoy these Sunday talks. It's kind of weird because of our schedule. We only ever get to do these discussions on Sunday. That's like kind of like our thing. It's like even this week I'm so busy, so it's so glad to have like almost a day of rest. I appreciate you having you over here and just shooting the shit or whatever. This is so funny because I'm looking at the YouTube and then comparing it to my StreamYard. It says 54 on my StreamYard, but it says 62 on the YouTube. So
Nice.
Thank you, numbers.
G'day, everybody. G'day. I see a whole lot of awesome people here already. So g'day. Hope you're all doing really, really well.
Spiritually empowered, Bonnie, Caroline, Justice for Depp, Aura of Peace, Cherry K, Ida A, Janet Smith, Jana, Mel. Welcome, Mel. She brought up the meth croc, so I had to do that little thing for you. Murren, hopefully I said your name wrong. I apologize if I didn't. Sabine, Jewel, Sandy. If I swear, if I don't get to all of you, I apologize. KH, JM, Kat, Barbara, and of course, coffee. What up, everyone? I'm sorry. It's just with so many people, it's impossible for me. Oh, and Caroline, I think I said that. But anyways, it is impossible for me to get to all of you guys. But welcome, everybody. We're going to have a great show today. Before I get started, I want to shamelessly plug something while we have 74 people. Tonight, don't miss, me and Bitchy Unicorn are going to do a review on Shark Exorcist. Go check this out on YouTube, then come back and see our review because this is so ridiculous. I can't wait to review this. I mean, the writing in this TV is that of really bad. I don't even want to say porn because I feel like I would be doing a disservice to the industry. I just say it's a movie.
Well, I have to say, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the terrible sounding name. It's like it reminds me of Sharknado or something. It's that terrible.
It was like someone said, I like the movie The Exorcist and I like Jaws. What can we do with this?
How could this be a bad idea? That's what they say. How could this be a bad idea? We're just going to make it, and I'm sure it's going to be awesome. But it's not.
No, it's not. I watched the trailer for this and I said, this is going to take a whole lot of alcohol that we don't even have. So anyways, we're here. We're going to talk about some Amber Heard stuff. I'm going to kick back some stuff that Stevie didn't get to do on our Friday stream. We're going to talk about something that will interest you guys. We're going to talk about more stuff that Stevie had brought up, but he was kind enough to do his stream a little shorter so we could do our news stream. So thank you for that, Stevie.
No problem, mate.
And just laugh and have a good time with you guys. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And also, by the way, if you are new and you're on the fence about this wonderful face, this face right here, okay, just commit. Hit that subscribe button. I'm like almost at 900, and thank you everybody who has subscribed. We've had such fun. If you missed our news report last night, after this, go check it out. We we confirm PB is with Kevin Spacey, which, by the way, what do you think about that? Can you believe we've got photograph evidence of pop culture PB with Kevin
Well,
Spacey?
well, I can believe it because PB is quite elusive. You know, he's like the Sasquatch. He's hard to locate, hard to get photos of. But you know, I've got confidence. I got full faith in your investigative abilities and and the ability to find photos of PB with Kevin Spacey. So I do believe it. I do believe it. And if you're not going to subscribe to General Zod or Mr. Zod's beautiful face, make sure you at least subscribe to the hat because the hat deserves it. The hat really deserves a subscription.
Thank you, thank you. You know, I was a little on the fence about this, and I was just like, I need something, and you know, the hat's been working for me, so I appreciate it. PB and his voice should be everywhere. Bonnie B said.
That's true.
Bonnie,
That's a fact.
you
That is a
confirmed it.
fact.
His voice is everywhere. So, the first thing I want to kind of dive into is that Deanne says, chat jump. Jumping chat. I'm not used to it. Anyway, Deanne, Sweet Apple says, hey, Stevie and Zod, good to see you. Hi, everyone in the chat. Hope you're all well. We hope you're well. We hope you're well. So first thing I want to get to, because I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this because late nights and, you know, you sleep at normal people time. I don't. We had a interesting article. And if you guys weren't here, we talked about not only did Amber Heard get Aquaman 2, not only does she have the audacity to taint that movie, and Jason Momoa doing a great job sinking it on his end, pun intended. Not only do we have Jason Momoa making crazy comments, but now Amber Heard got a raise. Stevie, how does it, she's getting 10 million, and the last movie she did, she got 7 million. How does this happen?
Well, I guess the short answer is that Warner Brothers are stupid. I think that if this is true, now I don't know, I'm not sure 100% on the source of the 10 million and Aquaman 2, but if it is true, I think that Warner Brothers are just stupid. But what they're doing is they're doubling down and tripling down, and they don't want to backtrack. They don't want to look like they were wrong, even though they are 100% wrong. That's the only reason I can think of why they would do this. She is obviously, we all know she's guilty of everything that we've accused her of, everything that Johnny's accused her of. And the only reason I can come up with is that, well, two things, I guess. She's got terrible PR. She's got terrible lawyers. She's got just a terrible, terrible team. I think that if this is true, it's complete and utter BS, because she doesn't deserve to even have the role. And, you know, we see that with the petition of like nearly 2 million people signing that petition. So if it's true, Warner Brothers once again are just not reading the room. But I've got a feeling that this is actually not true, to be honest. I feel like it's a beat up from the mainstream media, and it's something that they're just trying to throw another headline out there to try and get attention, which they obviously have. And they know because they've seen all those signatures. And yes, most of the mainstream media did actually end up covering the petition that Jeannie has put out there for nearly 2 million signatures. So they see that, and they're like, how can we get some more clicks here? I know what'll annoy every single person who supports Johnny Depp, which is, well, it should be basically the whole world by now. Let's put out this article that says she's getting a raise, because that's going to really annoy people. So, yeah, Les said Amber Heard was the source. Yeah, for sure.
No, it was by the wonderful shills at We Got This Covered, but was sourced by the normal suspects, Daily Mail. We know how accurate they are.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the rest of those shills that like riding the coattail and not doing any research whatsoever. But I like throwing it out there because the mere fact, and this is what I've been doing on my channel. If you guys have watched my video on entertainment, Access Hollywood, all of those shills who are blue check mark verified, they have been on the fence and not covering none of this stuff up whatsoever. So I feel it's my obligation as the best villain I can be to bring the shenanigans out to you guys. Kat thinks that Amber's not in it at all. Kat, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. She most certainly is. Warner Bros. They did release a statement. They said she is 100% on the movie. They have not taken her off. They have no intentions on taking her off. And as a matter of fact, you remember covering this, Stevie. They said they don't care what you guys think. They don't care. So when Aquaman 2 comes out, you guys show them you don't care. Don't give them money. I'm not going to see this. I'm not going to watch it on HBO Max. I'm not going to watch the horrible Justice League. I'm not going to endorse any of that because these guys are so pompous and arrogant. During I'm sorry, can't say that on YouTube. During the apocalypse, they are so confident that we are just stuck. We have no forms of entertainment, despite all of the streaming that we have. They are confident that you guys are just mindless drones and they can give you whatever you want, and you're just going to sit back and you're going to go, yes, let me get more crap. Give me more of this garbage.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And it's funny the way that you mentioned that is, saying that Warner Brothers have locked her in. She's not going anywhere. She's going to be in the film. Well, you can also guarantee that she's locked in. Yep. Okay, cool. While they've also locked in the fact that they're going to lose a whole lot of money because people are not going to watch this thing. And I see people saying that they feel bad for Jason Momoa, but at the end of the day, people just aren't going to support this film. They're not going to support her one little bit. And that's where, I mean, like, Warner Brothers need to really read the room here, because do they want to make money? Now, whether it's streaming service or cinema, obviously they're going to make more money if it's cinemas, if it's released worldwide to cinemas. But with their streaming services, I mean, how they make their money is through subscriptions. And, a whole lot of people out there are going to cancel their subscriptions if she's in it. Definitely people are not going to be watching it. Nobody's going to be downloading it from iTunes. Nobody's going to be downloading it from any other streaming software to watch it because, I mean, they don't care. Warner Brothers don't care about Johnny Depp, of course. They don't care about real victims of DV. They don't care about supporters. They don't care about their own fans. They just don't care about anybody. But one thing that they normally do care about is money. But to me, obviously, they're just completely tone deaf, completely dumb. And if they're going to put her into Aquaman 2, then there's only one bonus I can see to that. There is only one bonus I can see to that. And that is that she has to come back to Australia. And when she comes back to Australia, she can be charged with perjury by the Queensland government. So that is the little tiny bit of positivity I can put on on her being in Aquaman 2. Because, I sure as hell won't be watching it, and I know most people won't be either. But I would love her to actually come back here so she can be arrested. That'd be great.
And you know what? People are asking about the article statement. I'm going to look that up for you guys, but I believe Father Zod brought it up on one of our Phantom Zone newses. I know that there is something out about it, Steve. I know you've talked about it, where Warner Brothers has come out and said that they're already shooting or whatever. They're not going to remove her. And here's the reason why, folks. They did something stupid and they locked her in a contract. Unlike Depp, they were willing to lose that 50 mil, but I don't think they're going to take another loss because if they cut her, that would be a breach of contract and she could sue them for money. So that's why they're not going to get her off of this project. I don't believe they could pay her off, but I don't think they want to do that. I think they just want to ride the coattails out and just take whatever consequences they get, which is kind of ridiculous because there has been a cause for doing something like this. There's been plenty of people who've been cut midway from a project or actors switched out. It just mystifies me.
Well, there's
And
two. Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry.
oh yeah, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say there's two things that come to mind with that and with the contract stuff. And one of them is that Warner Brothers, being so tone deaf as they are wanting to double down again and just are like hanging on to the thread of Me Too and, Time's Up and all of those movements. So they're just hanging on to that thread thinking, well, maybe that's still what the public narrative is here. That's what the popular narrative is here with this whole Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation, which is completely, obviously, 100% off the mark and is tone deaf because they're not seeing all of the worldwide support for Johnny Depp. But that's one option. And of course, the other one is that Warner Brothers are not doing very well financially themselves. So they may not want to be paying out contracts, even though it's a relatively small figure when you think about their overall net worth. Yeah, they might just not be wanting to pay out that contract. But I think it's actually probably a combination of the two, because Warner Brothers have shown that they don't actually listen to the public. They don't listen to fans.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, they have made so many mistakes, guys. And this isn't the first example that I've given. This thing with the stand is horribly tanking like nothing I've ever seen. But that's what happens when you put it on CBS All Access Trash. And, I think that they've made a lot of missteps, in particular with the DC products in general. They rushed their superhero team up. They gave the Coming of Christ Zack Snyder a lot of control. That didn't work out so well. They pivoted. They got in this new direction, right? And then they have these scattered things where they'll do like Suicide Squad. It didn't do well, but I guess commercially it's considered a success. They've got Batman versus Superman, which is technically a success, but like nosedived at the end of its run. So since they've had this property, they haven't known what to do with it. And this is just an example of Warner Bros. Execs and not the people making the films who have any control over this. Because I can tell you right now, the person I feel bad for in this, if you guys don't know, I'm a huge James Wan fan. James Wan, I feel so bad for, because he made a character that virtually no one knows and I thought was a joke kind of look cool. And that was all on and his visual direction and his style of writing. He made Aquaman what it was. And now he's stuck in this position where he's got such a hated person. Like, Stevie, I just sit there and I wonder, what is poor Mr. Wan thinking? Because he's not controlling this. The studio execs are saying he's got to have this person in his film. I mean,
well, I think what he's thinking is, how did I get myself into this mess? how did I get myself into this mess? And he's probably also sitting there thinking, well, I know who's telling the truth here, and it sure ain't my mirror. It's it's not Amber that's telling the truth, because I've had to work with her on set, and she is a what. So I think that's a couple of things that he's thinking. But yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I mean, James Wan, I guess, is somebody who, whether you like the Aquaman movie or not, the first one, he's just a guy trying to do a good job, trying to put out a good product for everybody, and he's got this whole thing going on the side, which is going to be distracting for him no matter what. And I guess at this point, even though they've said that she'll be in it, I've got my doubts. I think they're going to. I think they're going to do what they can to actually keep her out of it. I hope they do, while still giving her contract. It's just going to be very, very interesting to see. But James Wan, I'm sure, can navigate around that. But like, I just had this, when you said that, I just had this image of him sitting there, like drunk, slouched in his chair with a smoke. Like, how could this happen? How could this happen? What's happening to my movie?
Because look, when something like this happens, the first thing people want to do is blame the director and the people behind it. But folks, WB is so notorious for interfering in projects and making poor choices that it's just astronomically laughable how bad of decisions they are. They're definitely no marvel. And despite my my beefs with Marvel, I can definitely give Kevin some kudos where he lets the directors make their choices. Like he'll be like, okay, this is what I want, but you guys are in control of how you get me there. And if it gets too off the course, then he'll step in and be like, nah, let's do this. But he pretty much gives his directors free range. And you can see by the success of those movies versus the success of the DC. And it's sad because, Mr. Zod, I'm a DC fan, and I've watched them screw up the comics and screw up the movies at a biblical level. It's astonishing. Justice for Depp says, so true, Mr. Zod's Phantom Zone. And he said that there was going to be more horror in it. And I wanted to see it, but now I don't, which is a shame because, I think he had a lot of good plans for this. And that's who I feel bad for in these disputes that no one talks about. And welcome to my channel, everybody. I like to cover the entertainment portion. And the big theme here is the crossfire that everybody else gets caught in because of one person's actions.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I brought up a clip of the wonderful entertainment hacker. And if you guys, for some reason, don't know who E-Hacker is, go check him out. He had this great clip that Father Zod actually found about Joe Rogan predicting 4 years ago all of this. And I wanted to bring this to you, Mr. Stevie J. And I wanted to kind of get your thoughts because I got other people's. Do you think, and I don't want to throw people under the bus because I don't know everyone's circle in Hollywood, but do you think that people could have came out and said something about this treacherous snake ahead of time? And the fact that they held their tongues, they're also complicit in this whole situation. Because I feel like by not saying anything is just as worse as being there and not siding with the man. They could have called this out literally 4 years ago. Rogan had laid everything out and said, I think she's going to do this, and this. I'm starting to think Rogan might be a psychic. I don't know. Because exactly what he said is exactly what she did.
Yeah. And I think, Joe Rogan, he's pretty good. I like his show. But when it comes to other people coming out in support of Johnny Depp and speaking up, earlier on, I think there's a couple of trains of thought there. And my first instinct is to say, yes, of course they should have, because, if you've got a moral compass, if you've got any integrity, you should come forward and support Johnny Depp. But then, there's another side of that too, which Greg Ellis actually spoke about when I was talking with him, which is, it really is. And especially at the time when all of this broke, when it first came out in 2016, it was really the height of the Me Too movement. And I think that he was spot on, and he had a little bit of inside knowledge there. But the thing is with a lot of these actors, and Greg Ellis himself has seen it, like his public support for Johnny Depp has cost him voice acting roles. It's cost him other work in the industry. And so a lot of the people who might have wanted to support or could have come out and supported Johnny Depp probably had those same thoughts that if I do this, I'm going to lose my career. I'm going to lose work and all of those sorts of things. So, I guess fundamentally for me, I think, yes, if you've got integrity and you see somebody being treated this way and falsely accused and everything like that, when you know what the actual truth is, then you should have come out, and you should come out and support him, because at the end of the day, you might lose some work, you might lose some credibility in the industry, which is ridiculous to me, by the way. But in the long run, as a person, as an individual, you're going to know that you did the right thing. And I think that's 10 times, 100 times more important than careers and money and all of those sorts of things. Because at the end of the day, if you go from being a big Hollywood star and you support somebody, you have integrity, you do the right thing, you can still go and get a job somewhere else, like an everyday job, just like the rest of us. It's not like your life's going to be over, but you're going to at least know that you did the right thing. So, That's what I think.
Susan says, I think JD was Me Too Endgame, demonstrated that they can get him down so that
Mhm.
everyone knows they can come for anyone. I wanted to highlight this because we've talked
Mhm.
about this, so that everyone falls into lockstep because they are scared of that. Exactly. Very great comment. I've been saying this.
Mhm.
Look, folks, this isn't the first person to be hashtagged. Kevin Spacey, in all seriousness, he was accused of something he didn't do. As a matter of fact, the case got acquitted, it got thrown out. And the
Mhm.
person who accused him, this part is sad, but they wind up taking their own life. And there's something to be said in that, like they were being coerced and
Uh-huh.
morally they didn't agree with what they did. And they had a very sad, crazy life. And you guys can check it out in my Phantom Zone. It says Kevin Spacey and Johnny Depp, the uh, the um the assassination of characters. Something my dad came up with something
Yeah.
clever. But anyways, the point being was that these two people, they were proving something. If they can bring down two legendary actors, that anybody who is just a Pratt or Chris Hemsworth
Mhm.
or any of those guys can easily be brought down. And that's the sad part, folks. The Me Too movement was supposed to be for you guys. It was supposed to be for victims. It was supposed to be for people, not just females, but males, anyone a victim of DV. And I'm just going to say it. They hijacked it and they
Mhm.
weaponized it against
Yeah.
other people. It's just like back in the Reagan days. Remember that when they were doing the blacklisting Hollywood actors, call you a communist, and bam, your career was over. And you had people pointing the fingers at people just because they weren't liked in the industry, and they got blackballed for years. And back then, it was under communism. Today, it's under hashtag Me Too.
Right.
Like when you trace
Well,
it back, it's astonishing.
yeah, no, I agree, mate. And it's a good point that you bring up. So the hijacking of Me Too and everything, and that comment that you brought up before as well. Just a quick hi to Shelby Soup, who's here. G'day, Shelby. I see you saying hi, but
Oh yeah,
I'm not in
I
the
waved
I'm not
like
in the chat
this.
today.
I don't know if she got the hi through that because I pulled up her name and I waved. I when people are talking, I don't want to cut them off. But
No,
hello,
no,
Shelby.
it's all good. So, mate, what you were saying on Johnny Depp and the Me Too movement. Yes, I agree. He was the end game, and that comment from before. Thank you as well. He was the end game. He was the one that were like, okay, who can we choose? He's the piece de resistance. He's going to be the one who just completely finishes and demolishes everybody. Because if we can bring him down, we can bring anybody down. But what I feel like they missed was the fact that Johnny Depp is actually one of the nicest guys on the planet, and he has no history of any DV, has no history of violence at all, has no criminal record, only has a record of helping people and being so nice to people. So the fact that they went after him is ridiculous. It's a misfire. If he was the final, one to be fired out of the cannon for this Me Too movement, they chose wrong because he knows he's innocent. Everybody around him knows he's innocent. Now, pretty much the whole world is learning that he's innocent. And not only that, he's actually just a great guy. I mean, I've talked about it quite a few times about the private investigator that went all the way back to the Jurassic period to try and find any dirt on Johnny Depp. And all he found out was that he'd really like to have a beer with Johnny Depp one day because he's such a nice guy. So, that's one part of it there. I think they tried to do that, but I absolutely agree. And another thing that I've mentioned before is the Me Too movement, hashtag Time's Up. All of these things, they have a great premise. They have a very great foundation as an idea. But the problem is, like you said, they get hijacked, and what then happens is they become attached to a product, or they get pushed as a product. And so when there's money attached, as soon as there's any kind of monetary gain attached to it, well, you can pretty much say goodbye. And where this applies to or links in as well to not just civil cases and things like that, and even criminal, but civil cases, also going into the family court too. Now, luckily, Johnny Depp's family, as in his kids and everything, are not dragged into this directly, but I think, Greg Ellis again has talked about the family courts in the US and the family law machine being a $55 billion industry a year. So when you couple that with things like Me Too, Time's Up, and all of that, they're really trying to attach themselves. And of course, I know there's a few lawyers out there who are fantastic and really appreciate you, but lawyers are scavengers. They are, they're vultures. And so wherever there's money to be made, they're going to try and make money. And when you talked about the coercion as well, potential coercion of people coming forward, it's like there should be an inherent thing in society where people just want to do the right thing. I mean, I know that's a bit of a utopian idea, but I'm trying to be positive at the moment. That's what I'm about. I'm trying to be positive. So it's a little bit of a utopian idea, but really, people should have the inherent motivation to come forward and be telling the truth if they know what the truth is, and standing up for the truth. So, and certainly not coming forward and making false accusations, which we've seen a lot in Me Too, unfortunately. So, as part of that, these lawyers, instead of just letting people come to them with stories, they're actively going out there and trying to find people and saying, "Oh, well, we did some research and we know that you spent some time, in an elevator with person X. So how about you come out and accuse them of touching you or doing something to you, because that would really just add to our case, and we'd love to put you on the stand." So I think that's a big part of it too, and I think that's actually really despicable, because it so diminishes the real stories, the real victims out there. It just absolutely diminishes everything that they've been through. And when you have these lawyers attacking people like that and going out and saying, come here, come with us, we'll get you some money, we'll pay you, we'll do whatever, just so that we can have another accusation to add to this case. And I'm actually really, really, obviously I'm pissed off that this is happening to Johnny Depp and that they're doing this to him, because he is such a nice guy. But I'm also glad, in a sense, or at least, trying to be positive, like I said, for the rest of the world, not for Johnny, but for the rest of the world, it's good that it's Johnny Depp who's the one doing this, going through this, because he has the perseverance, he has the integrity, and he has the class to be able to get through something like this and still maintain his character. So
and
I think
the lawyers.
and the lawyers.
Yeah,
Let's not forget Ben Chu. He's an absolute gun, and so is obviously Adam Waldman.
And I wanted to get back to LC over here. When I made my comment about communism, I wasn't saying Me Too equals communism. No, that wasn't my point. My point was, if you guys, and you sound pretty smart there, LC, if you guys remember back in history, and there was a movie about this that Jim Carrey made. It was about people being blacklisted for being called that. And it was the same kind of witch hunts that we had going on back then. And even now, through various documentaries and things they've showed, a lot of that stuff was just witch hunts and the industry using that stuff. And here we are again, and this is a prime example. This is proof positive of the industry using something that's not theirs in order to go after people without, as you so eloquently put it, there's no focus. There needs to be a refocus and believing, but seeking reliable evidence and due process. That is excellently said. That is the problem, that now we are trying things in the court of public opinion. And look, none of us were there with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Okay, we've got eyewitnesses or whatever else, but the people involved, it needs to be between them. And what the media and everybody else has done is made it a public circus. And then for people who aren't like us, digging up facts and going through and actually looking into this stuff, the media doesn't want to do that, because if they actually did their jobs, they would find all the inconsistencies like we have. It's not too hard to do these days. If you guys Google, you can Google stuff. I mean, it baffles my mind how lazy they are. It's astonishing. They are quick to pick up a story from anyone that look scandalous and salacious, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they lack the investigative piece of it. Remember back in the day, Stevie? Remember when journalism used to do footwork? Remember that? What happened to that? What
You mean,
happened to finding sources?
you mean back when it actually existed, where there is no journalism anymore. It's simply storytelling, isn't it? That's all it is. It's just what story do we want to tell today, and how's it going to help us? How's it going to make us more money? It doesn't matter about the facts. It doesn't matter about the truth. None of that matters anymore. It's just about what's going to sell clicks, what's going to sell newspapers. For those who still buy newspapers, and I just I have no faith whatsoever in the mainstream media. No faith at all. And I don't even really check in to see what the mainstream media is saying, because it's so much lies and so much disgusting behavior by journalists. Like, if I go and read an article talking about this case, I end up getting so frustrated and feeling so negative about it, because it's just blatant lies, and they don't ever quote any evidence. Like, when you're talking about something that happened, that's clear as day in court documents, all you have to do, like you said, you can use Google. There's a website there. There's UK documents. There's Fairfax County documents. There's LA court documents. If you have Google and you want to pay a couple of bucks, you can go and get the documents yourself. And so, as a news organization, you would expect them to have everything, and have a journalist who sits down and goes through all of the court documents, goes through every little detail, like a lot of YouTubers have, and actually write a proper article, actually write a truthful, factual article. But of course they don't, because the boss of the studio says, that doesn't fit with the narrative. So you need to take out, let me just do some editing here. Take out that fact, take out the evidence there, add in a little bit more bullshit, and okay, perfect. now we're ready to go. So,
and here's the thing: why I do the late night talks, people. A little backstory here, in case you haven't heard it before, because I got 167 people watching. Thank you for joining this beautiful face. And by the way, little fun for all you guys. Grogu appreciates you. Yeah, I did. Anyways, no. Here's the thing. Why I started the late night talks was back in the day, Jay Leno, David Letterman, Johnny Carson, they used to highlight ridiculous articles, right? Things that people would say, mistakes back in the day when journalists were real journalists. And that's not saying everyone, because I know that there's some people here who do journalism and they do a pretty good job. But back in the day, they used to just make, typical news errors, right? And they poke fun at them. And I found doing my show and pulling these articles from different websites, they have bad spelling, they have inaccurate facts, they source things, and their own paper covered it. Remember the THR hit piece, right? She sourced an incident her paper had covered, and she was totally wrong or blatantly lying about the facts in that article. And it's from your own paper. How do you not go back to the archives and go, okay, let me fact check? Oh my God. I'm sorry, fact check. And go, hey, we covered this. This was the story. Maybe if I want to, do some wordplay, I might actually look at an article.
Well, it's hilarious to me, like, especially when you think about it online. It's hilarious because in that case, somebody had to embed that link into the article. Somebody had to actually think about that. Like, why not just actually have some integrity? Now, look, I get it. I say that, but yet I do have the bigger picture as well. And the bigger picture is that the world's media is owned by 5 big companies. So it's, when you say, when we see, it's the Independent, or it's the this, or it's the that, and it doesn't matter who they are. Like, the top 5 media companies in the world own everything. So whatever narrative they want to push, whatever they're sitting there and they're having their brandy and cigars talking about, what are we going to push in the news this week? Well, that's what's going to come out. So we're never going to get, like you said, though, little disclaimer, there are some people doing a good job. So Bella Thoughts is one of those. She's a journalist, looking fairly at the Johnny Depp situation, and fantastic writing from her. But overall, you basically can just disregard the mainstream media unless they're giving you screenshots or referring to evidence in actual court documents, in actual fact. Then you really just can't believe them. They're absolutely disgusting. So I pretty much don't look at anything from the media anymore because
no, I look at it from you guys, because if I went with those clowns, I'd never find anything. So Lena says, when the first story dropped, the first thing reporters should have done is investigated who was involved. Then they would have found her arrest record for DV, and Johnny had no arrest record for DV. And it's little things like that. Exactly. And why I focus on this part is because, look, you guys all know the evidence. We all know the evidence, but I want to point out the blatant hypocrisy, because this isn't just one issue. Now it's not just these two people. It's everybody that's involved in not being truthful, in not giving you guys. And this is the biggest thing. Okay, passionate speech coming. Disclaimer. This is the.
Hang on. I'm ready. Go.
And this is the biggest thing that pisses me off about this. Okay, when I was a young little villain growing up, when I was a young dictator, I believed in journalistic integrity, and if a villain has to, twisting some facts for world domination. But anyways, I believe in the media. I believe that, like a doctor or a fireman or a police officer, there is a bond between you people and the media. There's a sacred oath. They are there not to give you their personal opinion, not to give you their political opinion, not to give you who they like this week and who they don't. It's supposed to be about the facts. When you write, you're supposed to write about truth and facts. And when you don't do that, you take everything you swore as a journalist. Get, journalistic integrity. Remember that thing, guys? You take all of that and you blatantly lie to people who might not be like us, who might not be researching this. They're believing Channel 2 and Fox and all these other guys. They're believing them, thinking they're reporting facts when really they're only reporting one side. And true story bringing, true journalism was never founded on this. It was founded on just giving you guys what the facts were, and then the opinions were up to people to decide based on facts and evidence.
Yep. Not based on the reverse. The news organizations deciding what the opinion should be and then pushing that onto everybody else. Absolutely agree, mate. And I just wanted to mention too, like you're spot on. Journalistic integrity does not exist anymore, or at least in a very, very, very small part. But just talking about, we were talking earlier about the Warner Brothers thing and the cash and all of that. It's really, really interesting how that all ties back into the counterclaim as well. So Amber Heard's counterclaim, and we were talking about this a little earlier about the court document covered the other day, which is the 13 grounds of defense that Ben Chu has put forward to the court in regards to Amber Heard's counterclaim. And what's really important there is that one of those grounds of defense is that she actually hasn't suffered any loss as a result of any comments or anything that Johnny Depp has done. So when we're talking about Aquaman and the fact that they actually have kept her on because of the wording in her contract, she actually isn't helping herself at all, because she can't prove that she's lost anything. Like, so where Johnny Depp can say, well, Disney got rid of me. Disney got rid of me after all of this came out. Fantastic Beast have gotten rid of me as well. So from Warner Brothers, she has nothing to rely on. She has nothing to say in her counterclaim that is factual. There's nothing to say in there about how she lost anything as a result of his comments. She can blab her flappy fish market mouth about it all she likes, but she's got no proof because she never actually lost anything, and she only ever gained from Johnny Depp. There's no realm, there's no universe where Amber Heard was a benefit to Johnny Depp. Only the reverse. Johnny Depp was the one who gave her a name, got her into roles, got her work, got her money. So there's this the counterclaim to say that some comments from Johnny Depp lost her money. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I think she's just an absolute gold digger. And with these grounds of defense, the 13 grounds of defense, the counterclaim is basically done. It's a piece of garbage document. She talks about the online campaign orchestrated by Johnny Depp. I mean, this is a guy who said he doesn't know how to use Instagram, and yet he's apparently orchestrated this big online campaign of terror against her. And Adam Waldman is a part of that. She tried to blame him and his Russian connections. I mean, come on, seriously. It's like she's trying to write.
Thing with Russian connections, Stevie. How can we get Russian connections? Because I'm sure we could go over 10,000 if we find these Russian bots apparently out in the world.
I'd love to have some Russian bots though. They could do all of my work for me and stuff. Just do all the stuff I don't want to do. But she keeps discriminating against Russians as well. I'm not sure what the Russians did, but the Cold War finished. Just so you know, Amber Heard, the Cold War finished a long time ago. but they disregarded. Sorry, just one more point. They disregarded pretty much all of the talk of the social media and the Twitter account stuff in that grounds of defense document because there was no actual statements quoted. There was nothing actually provided. There was no scope given to the legal team to say these are the specific comments we're looking at. So. Ridiculous, just ridiculous.
And I watched the Umbrella guy talking about how hard it is to actually do the whole Twitter thing, and I found it interesting because there is he laid out in that video about what you have to do in order for it to be considered like an attack. There has to be certain grounds. It has to be in the language and things like that. And right away, this disqualifies her claim because a petition is not attacking the person. It is calling for a removal by fans. You know what I mean? So it's not coming out and saying go vandalize her house or something like that. There's a lot of the internet is governed by a separate group of rules, so to speak. And the issue since the internet started, and I'm sure we come from the dial-up days where it took you 3 hours to get on. But when I remember when the internet first came out, it was this whole big discussion of, okay, what constitute as you can't say this out into the world because now you're reaching more people. Those laws have always been sketchy. But Amber, no one has come out and said, light your house on fire or something like that. Right. A lot of people got pissed off because you're a truly terrible individual. And you're the most horrendous person that I think I've ever covered across any platform. And they got mad and they want you off of their property so they can enjoy movies and films without seeing your stupid, ignorant face plastered everywhere. Oh man, that stupid look just grinds me, like that one she has where I hate the smile because it looks snarky, and I hate when she gets mad because it looks like, I don't know, she has to poop or something. It's somewhere between I have to poop and I'm angry about it.
Was there a bed nearby? If she looked like she needed to go to the toilet, was there a bed nearby?
I see what you did there. But yeah, and I mean, this is the thing, Amber. Before you get into wanting to get rid of all of these voices that are online, maybe you should do what the media doesn't do. You should maybe do your research on the internet, because cybercrime, and that's what you're claiming, that's what she's claiming, folks. This is forged, it's slanderous, it's made by Russian bots, right? So that would fall under cybercrime. Where's the crime, Amber? Where's people breaking into accounts? Where's this proof that people are spamming this thing out? Or she's claiming that these bots are multiplying the votes, okay? Does she even grasp how technologically savvy you have to be just to boost something. Like, for instance, with ratings and things like that, when you talk about review bombing and stuff, because I've covered this with shilling tomatoes and all that, right? Do you know how hard it is to create enough fake accounts for people to boost up a petition? Does she even have a grasp of how technologically savvy, not just one, but you're talking hundreds of people would have to be in order to all get together? It'd have to be a room of the top hackers. And Amber, you're not that fucking interesting. I'm sorry. You're not that interesting where people give a shit enough to create multiple accounts just to sabotage your shitty efforts as an actress. I'm sorry. Nobody finds you that interesting. I'm not sitting here going, I'm going to find 10 of my brilliant buddies and we're going to bring this bitch down. That ain't happening.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. She is, she's desperate. She's absolutely desperate. She's going to try and say anything. And and you're right. Nobody cares about her. Nobody cares about her. We're only talking about her because of what she's done to Johnny Depp. And she only had any kind of, career boost because of Johnny Depp. She only got her UN spokesperson, her ACLU stuff. She only got any notoriety because of Johnny Depp. Now, that was all from a negative-based thing and her stupid, false, ridiculous allegations against him. But she's a nobody. And the fact that she wants to say that everybody's Russian bots. I'm sorry. No, nobody's Russian bots. What everybody is people who have this little tiny thing that's called integrity. People who have integrity and they want to see the truth. They want to see justice. So that's why everybody retweets. That's why everybody likes. That's why everybody shares all of this stuff, because they're sick and tired of the mainstream media lies. They're sick and tired of Amber Heard and her complete bullshit accusations against Johnny Depp. And they want to get the message out to as many people as possible. So that is why people tweet. That's why people retweet. That's why people do videos on this topic, because we're sick and tired of all of this bullshit. And, just on another thing there with the Twitter stuff, Umbrella Guy, Tug did another awesome video on the Twitter stuff where he did a comparison of some of the Twitter users who were named in that document by Amber Heard. And so he was doing a comparison between what looks like an increase in activity for that person, an abnormal increase in activity for that person, and then compared it to what some of the bigger Twitter users have and how many times they tweet per day. And it was basically, there was nothing there, because the biggest accounts that tweet about Johnny Depp stuff, they would tweet a few things here, a few things there. One day they might have 50 tweets, another day they might have 20, another day they might have 10, which is like a normal pattern of behavior for a human being, because we all have lives, right? We all can't be on Twitter all the time. And then they went over to, he went over and showed some of the people, in other countries like Japan and other places like that, where some of the people there really do just sit there and tweet all day. They're still human beings, but he was comparing the rates of the tweets and how often everybody tweets. And so when you compare anybody on that list that was named by that thing, as Sandy Brown would say, anybody that was named by her all had regular Twitter patterns in line with what a human would do. So, I've got time. I'll send 20 tweets. I'm back to work now, so I'll send 5 tweets. And then later on or tomorrow, I'll send 15. It's just a normal pattern that he showed. So that was a really good video by Tug as well. So yeah, it's all just bullshit, mate. She's full of it, and it was so good to see, and it always is good to see Ben Chu put these documents together, these court documents together, and just slam everything that Amber Heard's doing. And one more thing, just on that document, which is on the Fairfax website, is that basically Ben Chu said, if you want to talk to Adam Waldman about any of this stuff, Johnny Depp will be asserting his attorney-client privilege 100% to the fullest extent of the law. So you can bring it with this counterclaim, but he's not going to be saying anything at all other than attorney-client privilege. So I thought that was a nice little sweetener there as well.
Oh yeah, that's great. Who's at Billy's boxing gym? Because I heard this throughout the chat. If anyone could tell me
I'm
who
not sure.
that is, because I've heard this going around, but uh, I've been in the world of watching terrible movies and spending time. If you guys don't know, I've been moving into a new place, and moving sucks. And you know, I don't know the intricate details around around what's going on about that. So, oh, Adzad, an AH supporter. You guys found one. That's astonishing. I
Mm.
mean, and here's the thing. Okay, I want to touch about on this for a second.
Hmm.
I've gone to some channels that have made ridiculous videos reversing the audio tapes and stuff like that. I don't know who this channel is, but I found like two of them. Okay.
Hmm.
And here's the thing. I'd really like to know. I would like you guys saw how I dealt with some situations confronting people. I would really like to know what exactly someone like that is thinking. I would like to hear their defense, because how do you defend someone uh, with, that has such overwhelming amount of evidence? I mean, you can't get more evidence than a person's voice. Just think about that. Back in the
Hmm.
day, okay, the two things that journalists would go on would be video and voice recording. The FBI, when busting mobsters, okay, the FBI, all of these guys who build cases, what do they use? Audio recording.
Hmm.
Why? Because it's the person's freaking voice. I mean, if you're really high end, you can maybe go with the whole it's doctor thing, but she's never come out in that defense. So we're going to say this is credibly her voice, okay?
Hmm.
You get more evidence than a person themselves. And I'm not going to say they downright said they did it, but they implied strongly, we'll say, that they did it. I want to know how the hell someone can defend that, because when you look at that, and then even if you take that out, how do you defend someone who claims to have donated to charity, but yet their dates for donating don't make sense? Oh, I have legal fees. From what? Amber, like, said 4 years ago, 5 years ago, however long this has been going on,
Well,
you
but but
literally,
it's
it was all solved in a year.
but
And
it's
Johnny,
even worse than that, mate. It's even worse than that. She said that the 7 million was for when Johnny Depp sued her, which was like 18 months or 13 months after the settlement. So she got the 7 million, and then somehow she predicted that Johnny Depp was going to sue her like 13 or 15 months later. So how does she predict that shit? Of course she couldn't. She couldn't. She's just a complete liar. But I wanted to mention something too. I just forgot. What was it? Anyway, it's
let
right.
me
It's
address Ginger67 says at Mr. Zot's Phantom Zone. Came on at Rob's stream yesterday, uh, trying to stir up trouble, so he's been inviting to chat on his live on Wednesday. Huh? Okay,
I
I don't
think
know
what's
what.
I think what's happened is someone went on stream and was defending Amber Heard, and they want you to confront him. So I think that's what's
They
going
don't.
on.
You know what's
Um,
funny about that, Stevie? You've known me for many years, and folks, look, I'm not one to throw my hat into drama unless I have a strong position about it. And here's the thing: if you guys saw my stream with Gary, you're more than welcome to check it out. I didn't pull it down. I confronted a particular person. I was fair. I gave them plenty of opportunity to talk. And that's what I do here, because I'd be damn curious to hear their reasonings. Okay. Maybe they present something logical. I very much doubt it. But you all know me. I will be the first to call out bullshit, because I don't have the tolerance or the patience to listen to people who don't have a logical argument. If you're just going to sit
mhm.
here and talk in circles and bring me nonsense that I know is not true, and you don't have a good debate, then don't get into the ring with me, because I will absolutely positively tear you apart. I have no
Mhm.
problems with doing that, because I don't care about their personal fifis or what's going to get hurt. I care about you guys, and all of these wonderful people that I've been lucky enough to meet, all of these wonderful people who have gone through real, you know what really pisses me off about this? And Amber Heard, I hope one day you get to see this beautiful face of me saying this. What really pisses me off about this is the fact that you dare put yourself in league with these wonderful people who have gone through traumatic stuff. You dare claim to be something that you're not. You dare claim to be a survivor. Just think about that. That's like the most disgusting, low-down thing anyone can do is claim that they've survived something horrible and they're a fraud. They're a charlatan. They've taken everything that someone's really gone through. And I mean, there's been people who have been beaten belligerently. There's been people who have mentally taken abuse. There's been people who have emotionally taken abuse. They have to carry those scars for the rest of their lives. And they have to sit here and watch this no talentless hack as she claims to be something she's not. And that's the biggest part of this that really pisses me off, is the fact that this trollop has the nerve to claim something and to belittle and degrade and demoralize everything that these poor people have stood for. It's appalling. It's disgusting. And it most certainly should be called out, because it is the highest form of douchebaggery that I could possibly, in my wildest dreams, think of. It said that Mr. Zut's Phantom Zone. No, it was a guy who came on Rob's stream and tried to start something, and Rob invited him to chat. Oh, yeah, Rob will tell him too. I mean, it's just ridiculous, because she stole someone else's story. Just think about that, Stevie. She stole someone else's story to gain sympathy. This is when I was in the service, right? We used to frown upon people who did that shit, that they claimed they'd been somewhere, they did something. It's the highest form of disgrace to people who have served. When you put on a uniform, there was a thing that was going on, I remember when I first got back, with people just putting on uniforms and pretending that they went places. Yeah, and I was a soldier, and you know, that's why it hits me so hard, is because I would never want anybody to go through half of the shit that I've went through. I don't wear it like a badge of honor. I've got nightmares and shit that I put up with, and mild PTSD and things like that I go through. And bitch, she's sitting right over here, my beautiful, wonderful woman. She knows. She's seen me wake up at night with sweats and shit like that, right? And I can't stand pretenders, because you're taking someone's struggle. You're taking something that someone lives with and deals with every day, that you don't even know the horrendous things that they feel each and every day, but they're brave enough and they're strong enough to get out and face the world despite this horrible thing happening to them. And you're sitting here and basically mocking that, Amber. That's what you're doing. You're mocking everybody who has had real problems, and shame on you. You're disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
I couldn't agree more, mate. I couldn't agree more. I mean, of all the people, you know, we talk about, you know, Johnny Depp, and he is absolutely the victim, and he has been just dragged through the mud and through so many things in this. But I couldn't agree more. When you steal the story of, you know, specifically Kate James, that happened. But what you're doing is you're really saying to all victims out there that you don't care, you don't understand, and to try and make out that as the abuser yourself, that you are the one who's a victim, is just one of the most despicable things I've ever seen. And the judge in the UK reaffirming all of that, and basically taking Kate James through all of that, and then calling her a liar, basically, it's one of the most infuriating things I think I've ever seen. It's just utterly ridiculous. And I hope she gets her time in jail very soon. But mate, I absolutely.
Here's the thing, Stevie. Even if we don't see her in jail, there's one thing that's going to happen, folks. Mark my words, all 172 people watching. Karma is a bitch, and what comes around goes around. I strongly believe that. Look, if there wasn't some kind of karma, all the shit I went through, we're finally in our personal lives seeing a silver lining. A lot of that is from you guys, so thank you. But a lot of it is, I believe, from trying to be the best we can be. And that goes in the inverse. when you
Mhm.
manipulate facts, when you try to intentionally destroy people and it
Mhm.
doesn't work, you know what's going to happen? That is going to flip on her. And we're going
Yeah.
to, mark my words, these media shows, and this all comes back together. These media shows and stuff, they're only on the side of the person who is right. So when it comes out that she's
Oh yeah.
wrong,
Yeah.
I will put money on how many outlets that'll come. Well, Amber Heard we're just shocked and appalled. They're going to be attacking her.
Yeah.
And all
Of
I gotta
course they
say
will.
is, all I gotta say is, how does it feel, Amber? How does it feel to know that your vicious, malicious plan to destroy an innocent man's career failed, and now and you're no Johnny Depp, okay? She is not a
Right.
Johnny Depp. She's not gonna bounce
Oh
back. She's
no.
not gonna make
No,
a
no, no.
comeback. Johnny's gonna be all
No.
right. He's already got people seeing what's
Yeah.
going on. I mean, Tim Burton came out and defended him. The directors and
Yeah.
everyone, they know what's
Of
going
course
down.
they do. Yeah.
And,
Of course they
and
do.
you're gonna see it. She's gonna get everything back tenfold.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I absolutely agree. She's done after this. She's absolutely done. And I agree with the mainstream media will backflip on this, but it's been an absolute blast, mate. But I really do have to get going, and I know Shelby Super is streaming right now as well. So
So yeah,
um,
let's start to wrap this up. I wanted to I went on a bit of a tangent, but thank you, man, for coming on. Thank you,
I
all
appreciate it.
180 people watching. I appreciate it so much. Shameless plug for myself. Go check out my description. I have the link to my Teespring store. I've got these awesome shirts that say my wonderful woman drew the picture of Johnny Depp, but as to not use his likeness, she put justice on the other side. So it says, Zod says JD is innocent on the back. So check out those
Nice,
shirts. We got all sorts of stuff. And
nice.
check out my website because I'm going to start doing blogs of personal things that I find out and other different things. And check me out tonight because I'm going to have a stream called Just Bitching, which will be with my wonderful woman. She'll be on camera for you guys, and we'll be talking about Shark Exorcist. It's going to be a blast. And go check it out. You can get it for free on YouTube. There's someone who clipped the whole thing. And I don't think they're
Nice.
going to come after them because that movie needs promoting. So you guys can all watch it. Come back. We'll have some hilarious commentary on it. And thank you so much. When I first started, I was at 398, and now I'm almost at 900. And when I get to K, I'm gonna I don't know what I'm gonna do. You said break a brick. I think that I'll be doing the rest of my streams from the hospital after that.
Well, I think I said concrete wall, but hey, either way.
Oh my goodness, a wall. But yeah, go check out Stevie. Stevie, before we go, you got anything you want to drop for the good folks? I know you got some T-shirts that are going to charity because you're
Yes, yeah. All right, really quickly, really quickly. So we've got these. These are the new T-shirts that replace the old ones. Going to charity. So you can head over to my channel or Twitter or whatever and find the links there. And the only other thing I wanted to say is be awesome, everybody. Be so nice to yourselves. Be nice to everybody else. Just try and be positive. Let's get this thing done for Johnny Depp. And yeah, if you're not doing anything, head over to Shelby Soup. She's live now as well.
And remember, as always, there is only one rule in the fandom zone: kneel before General Zod.